So I don't even know if I can call myself a Logic fan, really, just because I was a big fan early on. The Under Pressure days, Incredible True Stories, the Young Sinatra mixtapes before that. That was the Logic I liked. And then 2016 on was when most people really started paying attention to Logic, and it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. He's dropped a bunch of real bad tapes, almost to the point where there's some of these projects I didn't even listen to because I knew it just wasn't going to be good. But it was something about when he tweeted out that he was retiring. Earlier this week, he tweeted out he was retiring with the album titled No Pressure. And it was something about that. It was something about the way he addressed it, and just something about the way he went about it that made me think this could be worth listening to. This may not be Everybody Part 2. This may not be Confessions of a Dangerous Mind 2. It may not even be like that. I went into this album thinking that this was going to be a good send off for Logic. And I was hoping it would be, because for the last 4 years, it's the music, the quality has not been the same. It just hasn't, it's not up to par with what he has done in his career. And I'm actually pretty glad to say this was maybe the best way he could have retired. I think it's the best way he possibly could have retired. And I say that because he got back to the old Logic. The new Logic, the one that talks about money and recycles the same lines over and over again, that wasn't here. We got the old Logic. We got the Under Pressure Logic. We got the Incredible True Story Logic. We got someone that could actually tell a story. And I was happy about that because it's been a while since we've gotten that. Of course, sure, there's a Young Sinatra 4 mixed in there amongst the other bad projects, but we hadn't really gotten that. And this project kind of gave finality to his career. It's a really captivating career when you think about it, because what Logic has done throughout his entire career is that he's had a core fan base by sticking to the essentials. Rapping, boom bap, he killed that forever. He killed that for years. And that's how he got his cult following. He had the Suicide Hotline song that went global. And then he captured a new crowd, and then spent the next 3 years trying to appease the new crowd. For some reason, not even noticing how far he was alienating the original Logic fans, such as myself and a couple of my other friends. So when people said the name Logic for the past 3 years, it was always followed up with a groan, like, ugh, Logic. Because he wasn't that anymore. I didn't think he had it. He wasn't hungry anymore. Doing it for a paycheck, it didn't really feel sincere. Young Sinatra 4 was really the last project that Logic had where it was back to the basics, back to the boom bap, and it was great. And then it changed so much. It changed so much. And with the last album, going back with No ID, which in my opinion, I have no idea why he ever stayed away from No ID. It made no sense. It's been 6 years to set it in the album. And I'm not going to give you a whole album review because I've only listened to it twice. And I do like a lot of the songs, but I'm not sure any of it stands out. I looked at it more as a concise project, and it was a big culmination of Logic talking about basically what it's like to be a father now, what it's like reflecting on his career, a lot of the mistakes that he's had, a lot of the stuff that's driven him. And I was happy to hear him be reflective like that. In mixed on No ID beats, it was always a cheat code. And I always just wondered why Logic didn't just stick to the basics, because he stuck to the basics and it got him there. He didn't have to go over here to get up there. He was already here. The talent and the skill alone put him on top. May or may not have been in your top 10 in 2015 before he fell off. But something changed, and I'm happy to say that Logic had the best possible send-off. And he did it on his own. He had some real weak projects, and he capped it off with a nice bounce-back effort. And I truly, honestly, as a Logic fan, I guess I couldn't be happier for him. I feel good for him. All the hate that he's gotten, whether it's deserved or not, in a lot of cases it is deserved. He ended it on a high note, and I can respect anyone that goes out on a high note in their career. So I say all this to say, good for Logic. Good for Logic.